Welcome. Thank you, everyone, for coming. And we would like to welcome you all to the first table round sessions of our lady nights, because we like to think of it as like the Knights of the Round Table, don't we, Matt?
We do indeed, yeah.
You know, so, and there's no reason why a knight couldn't be a lady. I've watched that Game of Thrones. You know, so what I like to do is I like to begin by introducing Faye Caddick. Just say hello.
Hello. I am Faye Caddick.
I am Faye Caddick. Hannah Mary Jenkins.
Hi.
Rachel Rosie McGowan.
Thank you. Thank you.
I am American. I will get these things wrong.
Sorry.
And Deborah Elizabeth.
Hello.
Anne Marie Hodson.
Hiya.
And Danielle Britton.
Hi.
First of all, we'd like to thank you all for joining us on our first roundtable session and being able to talk about the highs and lows of the UK film industry. You know, and so what we'll do is we'll ask you questions, but this is also an open caucus and a free for all, a conversation with. So Matt, would you like to lead us to the first question?
Yeah. So I just want to take you right back to when you first started as actresses, and when you went for your first audition. So could you just tell us what your first audition was, and did you get the part?
Well, for me,
Yeah.
years ago, I feel old, I auditioned for the Italia Conti in London. And my first audition, I played, Tallulah out of Bugsy Malone.
Oh yeah.
So that was my first audition, but I never got a scholarship to go, so my family couldn't afford it at the time. But yeah, that was my first audition. So I'm gutted now, never too late, never
But
too
it
late.
didn't put you off though, did it?
No, it
Because
didn't put me off. I just led into another direction for a bit, and now I'm back to
your
where
first
I was
love.
at. Yeah.
So was it one of those where your parents took you down to the audition
went
and
down,
everything?
obviously it's the school fees are quite a lot, and then to live with a family, so I'd have to live with a live-in family. So but at the time my family, working class people, we couldn't afford to obviously put me up in London.
Yeah.
But I went to another facility here then called Elliot Clark, which is just as good.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of talent that's come from there, so
Oh no.
yeah,
Wow.
so that was my first audition.
That's cool. Anybody else?
Well, my first audition was for a feature film, filmed in Crosby, or Blundersands at Crosby. And to be honest, I got it through my housemate. My housemate had found it on Star Now, and she needed somebody else, and she was like, "Hey, I have a friend." So I went over, and I ended up getting it. And to be honest, it kind of set me off after whoever went to uni. You know that you just get kicked out the front door and been like, "See ya, enjoy," and that's literally all you get given once you leave uni. So for doing that, it kind of helped me kind of understand where I wanted to go. I learned a lot because you learn so much on set.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's
So
because
were you acting already at the time, or?
Well, I'd done lots of theatre through when I was younger, but I'd never done anything to do with cameras. I had no idea how a set worked or anything like that. So to be given the opportunity to work on a set like a feature film, so it was a long process, to know how the camera angles worked and just loads of little things like that. It was great for me to be able to learn, if you like. So.
Oh wow!
Really good.
Nice. We had to look for that. You had to let us know what film that was.
Nope.
I definitely want to know now. Oh.
My first audition was also in Crosby and Blundersands, but it was for theatre, and it was for a pantomime.
All right.
And I auditioned for one half of a comedy duo, which I'd never really done much comedy acting before, and didn't think it was my cup of tea, but I got the part.
Oh, God.
Oh really? Did you have to do an improv or something?
No, it was scripted. I went into the audition room and was given an already written script, and just had to perform it to the director and a panel for the theatre company. And I was very nervous because I was very young at the time and I hadn't really had any experience. But went in, give it my best shot, which actually that's all you can do, isn't it? And got it, and gave me confidence that go on and hopefully pursue.
Oh, can I just ask you? I mean, being nervous and everything. I mean, what do you think was the difference? There was probably a lot of other people up for the part.
Yes, there was many people who I'd met going for the same role, and also walking into an audition room for the first time and having 4 people sat in front of you, you're just like,
Yeah.
It's like The Apprentice, right?
Still scary now.
yeah, it is. It doesn't get any easier. Don't get me wrong, but it was the first experience I've had, and I just went, oh my god, and then just gave it my best shot and got it. So now I still get those nerves, but I know that I can do it. So.
I
Nice.
think nerves are natural though.
Oh,
aren't
God,
they?
Nerves are a good thing.
I'd be worried if
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah.
nervous.
Yeah.
My
sure.
voice always
Be
goes
worried if you
high
weren't.
when I'm nervous. So, you know, when you're first going for an audition or something, you know your lines and you're thinking, don't cock up. And then all of a sudden, like, I go, ugh. Can you wait 5 minutes? Just let me breathe.
I know.
Actually, no.
I find the worst thing is
Next.
when you have to be yourself. When they go,
Yeah.
so tell me about yourself, and I go, but when I'm doing my script and things, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But it's when I'm trying to talk about myself, which is
The
absolutely
hardest
bonkers.
thing to
Like,
talk about yourself, I think.
Yeah,
To
exactly.
yourself.
What do
Yeah.
you pick? You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
like, tell me something
do you
exciting
really want to
about
know what I
you.
did Saturday night? I don't know.
But you know, you said it gave you a bit of a confidence boost. I mean, auditioning, you're going to get a lot of rejections.
Yes.
Is that really
Yeah.
demotivating, or how do you keep yourself
No,
motivated?
it's just a learning thing.
Yeah.
So it's
Yes.
just experience, and you don't expect anything. You go and give it your best, and then you come out and like you're grateful that you got there. You've done your
Yeah.
best, and then you always learn. You don't like sit and wait on the
What
film
I
if you
always
see if you get it. Do you? You just go to
Yeah.
the next audition.
Yeah.
Well, what I do is once I've come out of an audition, it's out of my control.
Yeah,
and
definitely. Yeah.
I can't do anything more to influence their decision.
Yeah.
So as soon as I walk out of that room, it's gone. And
Yeah.
I'm looking for the next thing. What's the next thing I've got to do? And what's my next audition? That's what I'm focusing on. And then if I get a call back, either for a call back to a second audition or to say that I've got the part, it's a nice little surprise for me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
And at the
I
end
get
of the
this
day,
point.
at the end of the day, you're there because the casting directors have said, yeah, I'll choose this person,
Yeah.
this person.
Yeah.
So the only thing that you can do in your job is just turn up.
yeah.
If you've got what they want, you have. But if not, then you go to the next job because you're already there because they want you there.
Yeah,
so
you
that's the way you've got to look
had
at it.
something
Yeah,
that they
exactly.
wanted in the first
And you have to take the
place.
positive from it. If you do get rejected from an audition, you go, well, do you know what? At least I got myself to that audition. I
Yeah.
walked in that room in front of those casting directors and
You showed
whoever
that
else is there.
Had
And
the bottle to
that's
do
the
it.
positive.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
myself in there.
It gets to the point where you go to that many auditions,
Yeah.
you just become like a machine.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
just go
Autopilot,
to
yeah.
them. You just go there, do what you can, give it your best, and then come out. And then you've got to forget about it as soon as
Yeah.
as soon as you've been in there, because
no
otherwise
point in
it plays
trying.
on your mind, and then that's when you start going, oh, maybe I'm not good
Yeah.
enough, maybe this, maybe that. But in actual fact, it's not that at all. It's just it could be anything. It
could be down to stupid
maybe
stuff.
maybe you didn't have the right colour hair. Maybe
Yeah.
you didn't. You know, it could be anything. So you just go in there, do it, and then come out, forget about it. If you get a call back, great.
I
If
went-
not-
As a tall girl, I have often been rejected at auditions because I'm too tall.
Really?
Especially if they've already cast a
It's
leading
typecasting,
man,
really, isn't
and
it?
Who
it's
isn't tall, yeah.
who isn't as tall as me, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's not. It's got absolutely nothing to do with your talent, with your ability.
Yeah.
It's about whether or not you fit into that certain box that the casting director is looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've even gone down to London and they've changed the brief. Been on the train. Well, they've changed the brief. I was like, well, I'm on my way to London. So you can come anyway and see if they like, because I don't really have a brief. And I was like, well, I'm obviously going to London, so I may as well turn up
Yeah.
and see what happens. But it's just one of those things.
It's like a number game, really, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
You
Well,
just
that was
need
for a
that one,
commercial, so it's-
one audition that could possibly change your life.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
everyone who's sitting around this table is just wants a lucky break. That's it. I mean, for different reasons. That's the thing. You just need that one lucky break that can change
One person
everything.
to
Yeah, yeah. a
And
chance.
also, if that one audition doesn't get you the role that you went for, something else
Yeah,
could lead
definitely.
Well, yeah, because you were there in a row. Can I just ask you something on that audition thing? Because I've been to a lot of auditions and stuff, from the casting side of things, and I just want to know for you, anybody can answer this. It's like I've seen, people overthink the audition. It's like somebody has to come. You're your wife and you're having tea with your husband, and go. And somebody comes in with a bag. Wait a minute.
Yeah, props
They
out.
pull out the props and everything. Okay, now I'm ready. And as a casper, you're just sitting there going, you know what I mean? I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think that you have to overthink the audition? Because I like what you were saying about how you got your part and everything, but what about the others?
I think it's ridiculous. Like, I would never go to an audition with a prop unless it was like just pulling out a hat.
Yeah.
Just like no,
Oh,
never.
you've seen it.
It's just, I just don't.
I'll usually ask the casting director or the agency and say, look, is it worth me going in character, or do they want me to just go as me and then be the character that they give me or whatever?
But I think
Because sometimes they'll say to you, you know, yeah, maybe go. Because I've been to an audition where I had to play a teenager. I don't look like a teenager, so it was cast. I don't know. I thought it was bad casting, so I already went with that negative attitude, really, which you should never do. So I went to the audition, and the agent said to me, "Now dress as a scally. I want you to have a hoodie, wear your earrings, you know." So I goes there. It was in Manchester, so I get on the train to Manchester.
it's on the way.
So I'm on the train in my scally gear, and I'm thinking, right, yeah, I'm looking like a scally, and I get there, and I does the audition, and I still didn't get it. So I think
The thing is, I think it's just. I mean, the casting directors are experienced enough, as you know full well, that they don't need someone to come in as a character. I think as an actor, that's our job to be able to portray it. I don't
But as
think
an
we need
artist,
someone
I can understand where maybe that guy is coming from, because if he feels like that is going to make his, like, you know, not draw attention to himself, but seeing that he's
Make him
thinking
stand
outside
out.
the box, then maybe that's a way to draw, you know.
But I think it's our
and
job
being
to
real
do
as
Do
well.
you
that. I
feel
think
though
we
doing
need
that it kind of makes you feel a bit forced when you're doing auditions, or do you want to be more spontaneous and
You want to stand
natural?
out because
No, I
you're a
think-
number at the end of the day.
I like being a
It's
character.
like-
I like going dressing as a character.
I always
putting a
find
bit of spice in it or something.
I like to- I
go to
yeah.
an audition quite neutral, and then the casting director can put whatever image it is they
Yeah,
what they
yeah.
want, because you don't know what they want. At the end of the day,
Exactly,
you don't know what
That's
they
it,
want.
you do if you ask. If you ask your agent, you ask the casting director and they say to you, you know, go dressed a little bit scally, go dressed like that.
For a commercial, absolutely. For a commercial, if you're going as like a bubbly, whatever, to have my hair curly and just be like, have a nice dress on. Because commercials, it is based on what you look like.
Yeah.
Because commercials, they go, can you walk in slow motion down this hall? Yeah, I've done that before. I've walked in slow motion for an advert like this down a room, like. And that's nothing to do with my talent. I mean, to be fair, I was great at walking in slow motion.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
didn't get the part, but that's not the point.
I
That's why you love commercials.
I always dress, or I always go with a bit of the character. So if it's to
Something to
60s,
fit
to 60s, I won't turn up completely
in a trackie.
Exactly.
Or I will dress a bit 60s definitely, because it makes me feel like
it helps get you
Yeah.
into
And-
mindset.
and some casting directors have got more imagination than others, so I think it's always good to walk in the room and they go, she just looks the part, you can put it on now, you can film her now in this character.
I think it is different though with theatre
Yeah.
versus film and
Yeah.
TV.
Oh god, yeah.
I mean, with film and TV, yes, you know, go with a hint of the character.
and that's
type of
mainly
role
for
you go
yourself,
for.
isn't it?
Yeah,
really,
that's
to
mainly
get into
yourself.
that.
Yeah.
But with theatre, I find the more neutral you
Yeah,
are,
the
because
better.
it is judged more on your ability, your talent, than on looks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, next question is.
I was going to ask, because you mentioned you've gone to auditions in Brundle and Crosby, but also in Manchester and London.
Yeah.
Do you feel there's opportunities for actresses in Liverpool?
You
More
have
so
to
now.
look really hard
Yeah.
for them. They're not
It's
as
more
obvious.
Manchester, really.
Yeah.
I mean, there are things in terms of like short films, and there's some really, really talented directors and actors in Liverpool, and I think it needs utilising more.
Yeah.
But in terms of all the BBC and everything going up to the Suffolk Keys, it's ever growing, I think, and which is a great thing, because it's really expensive to go to London. Really expensive.
I think in terms of up and coming and emerging talent, you don't need to look any further than Liverpool. It is fantastic.
Oh yeah, I mean, we are a very talented
It
city,
is.
but the fact is, casting directors, producers, the actual filmmakers are not here.
Yeah.
No, for the big productions
Yeah,
that
well,
we
you
want
class
to
the
be
big,
in.
yeah.
The likes of the BBC, ITV, Sky,
Well,
etc. They're not.
there are
But they've
quite
been casting like Game of Thrones and Star Wars. They've been actually doing that kind of casting up north. I mean,
Yeah.
have
Oh, yeah,
anybody?
no,
went
but
to the
not
States.
in Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think,
I think
well,
that's
no, I
quite
think
a lot.
Manchester's such a big, and to be honest, it's I don't mind. It's the end of the train line. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I mean, as long as people like the likes of Danny Boyle and Nina Gold and these people that are incredible and like those kind of things that are going to Manchester, that's what matters, I think.
Yes.
I mean, obviously it would be amazing for someone huge and give Liverpool like a
I think
something.
it will happen though.
But
I feel like it's on
the
up.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many talented actors, directors, writers. I'm a part of a group now.
We're amongst them now.
WEA, and it's like a creative group that come together. It's for free for like directors, writers, actresses to get together in a group and create your own projects and your own films. And then it's just a case of putting stuff out there. So
You do
I
have
do
to
think.
be extremely proactive.
Yeah,
you can't,
definitely.
you can't just sit
But I
back
think
and
that's
let
in
your
anything
agent-
though.
I
I think
agree,
whether
yeah.
you're in, especially in London,
Yes.
because I think we've kind of got a little gem because Liverpool is so small that we all, before we came here, the majority of us knew each other.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
crew,
from-
everybody.
Yeah.
from
Whereas in
different
London, you
things.
have to work your arse off to even meet
Like just say,
certain people.
I lived in London for 8 years, and the whole purpose of me going was to do acting. So I got into a drama school there. I've done a foundation acting course there, and then I auditioned for the drama schools. Got into a few of them, but I didn't get the Dance and Drama Award to go. And with me being a bit older, I didn't, you know, I couldn't afford to go. It was like
Same
£9 grand a
situation,
year.
yeah.
Exactly, yeah, same situation as you.
Yeah.
But what I've found is, yeah, London's a bigger place. There's more people there, you know, but there's just as much opportunity here as there is in London. And saying like the likes of Danny Boyle and all these people, I've met Danny Boyle and I've met a few big casting directors and directors. It doesn't matter where you are or who you know, nothing like that. What matters is if you're proactive and you put yourself out there and you're a nice person, you're passionate about what you do, it doesn't matter where you are, it'll happen for you if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Well, Deb, you said you just got back from London yourself, didn't you?
Yes.
So, I mean, was your experience the same as Anne-Marie's, like as far as getting work?
Yeah, there's so much more competition in London. I mean, there are so many opportunities, but then you are in competition with so many more people, and it is more anonymous. Like, you know, what you were just saying, that here, we all know most of the people in this room, whereas in London, I would never have anything like this where I already know majority of the people here. I wouldn't even be involved in anything like this because it is so hard to make those connections in London because it's so expensive, so you are constantly working just to live. So you don't have the time to be able to go off and do this audition or to go to this meeting. And you look at all the groups that are in London, there's so many that are, and it's like, oh, that sounds interesting, I'll go to that. What time's that meeting? That's meeting at 6 o'clock in central London. Wait, I don't finish work till 5 o'clock in Uxbridge. It's gonna take me 2 hours to get into. Yeah. So it is much harder. I mean, the reason why I came back was, even though I had a full-time job, which was, you know, paying quite well, I had no money left for living expenses. I didn't do much socialising because the living costs are so high in London that it completely just negates any opportunities that there are down there.
I had to like sort of go into shared housing, so you're living with people that you don't know.
Yeah.
But that was the price I had to pay because I wanted to go do acting, and I did find theatre groups, and I did mingle, and I did get out there, and I went to the Actors Centre, and I've done loads of stuff. I've done loads of short films, I've done theatre, Fringe, and it was brilliant, and I didn't want to leave. I really didn't. I just couldn't afford to live there in the end. Exactly like that.
Did you find it a good learning experience doing
brilliant.
it that you wouldn't have experienced in Liverpool?
What I found is that out of all of it, because I really struggled. I mean, there was times when I either had money to get to the audition or for something to eat that night, and I'd choose the audition.
Yeah.
So and then I wouldn't have anything to eat that night. Or I lived in a flat at one point which was full of cockroaches. It wasn't my choice, yeah. I'd rented the flat, it was cheap, there was nowhere else to live. I'd switched the
You could
lights
eat the
on.
cockroaches,
The cockroaches scattered.
They got protein.
I just keep the lights on at all times so they would not emerge.
I've seen I'm a celebrity. You could have eaten the cockroaches at the audition.
Exactly. And it was that, it's either you do that or you know, you go to the audition.
People like that
and
that get on them. It's people like that get on because the tenacity and the drive that you have and the dedication. And obviously, it's not great that you choose not to eat but the pure tenacity and the drive of it, people love that.
Yeah.
And
If you
another
told,
thing
do you know what I
about-
mean?
Yeah.
I'm feeling inspired just
Oh,
Yeah.
as well, it's not that it's not the same opportunities in Liverpool, it's the fact that it just made me want it even more. So even when I did come back to Liverpool, all the same opportunities are here, if not more, because I've worked more since I've been in Liverpool than I was in London. Because like you said, there's more competition in London.
Yeah.
There's competition here too. There's competition everywhere.
Is that giving you a thicker skin to really go for the job?
Totally gave me a thicker skin, and you know, it just made me realise that that's what I want to do.
It's
Even
interesting
coming back
for me
here
to
now,
hear that, because I've always
Exactly.
debated with myself the whole London-Liverpool.
I would say
And
give
I've
it a
not
go,
done it,
because
so-
if you feel that it's something that you really want to do, give it a go.
give it a
because
shot,
you will regret it. It will always be that thing niggling away in the back of your mind. But you will end up back here because A, the living expenses are so high in London, and B, like Anne-Marie said, there are equal opportunities here. It's just you have to know where to find them. When I was down in London, I went and found my own opportunities as well. So I did, you know, I performed poetry readings for friends that I made down there in pubs in central London. I did a film with the London Film School. I was actually in a theatre tour, mini Northwest theatre tour, up in Liverpool, up in here, whilst I was down in London.
Yeah, that's weird. I was as well. I done like a TIE tour.
But I actually videoed myself doing my character's lines, and they projected it in the theatre, and I came back up to Liverpool for a visit just so I could go and see it, and it was an absolutely incredible performance. This
Surprised
show,
about yourself on it.
and then seeing myself projected onto the curtains in the theatre, it was like, oh, this is actually it's so weird watching myself in theatre. But you know, I made that opportunity happen because I thought, well, there's no reason just because I'm in London why I can't do this.
Well, I did that. I got over Christmas. I got a theatre tour going around Scotland. I drove the length of Scotland and to the Highlands. I was everywhere. And
You're doing really well, because I remember when I first met you, you hadn't done much acting, had you? At Tina's classes, and now you're in everything. So you're doing so well, really, really well.
yeah, so that's the thing. You just got to go out and get it. I mean, if it means driving the length of Scotland, you do it because it pays, and it was the most incredible experience. I've got great stories and I've got not so good stories.
So you've told us a lot about the experiences you've had and what you've gained from doing that. What do you think of actresses that are starting out? Do you think they need to go to acting school, or do you think they can actually learn the skills you've learned the hard way by
On
getting
the set.
on
I
stage?
don't necessarily think drama school isn't for everyone.
I just
It's not-
think some
it's not
people
for
are
everyone.
naturally talented though as well. Like drama school, obviously, if you're going to learn Shakespeare and or like, you know, whatever style of methods of acting you want to do. I think there's some people that when I've been in drama groups and stuff that I've never done any acting, that I've first come and you're blown away, like, oh my God, you are so talented, and they've never done anything. Once the confidence there, and they're naturally, like, in their eyes and like the way they come across, it just blow you away. So I think to go to drama school would be, if you've got that privilege, because it gives you that little bit of, you'll have discipline, basically, it learns you all the discipline, like, if you were on a set or whatever,
There's the famous story of Gary Oldman went to audition for RADA 4 times and they went, "You're never going to make it, mate." Gary Oldman. I think the only thing that I've benefited from, obviously I'm not from Liverpool originally, but I've lived here for a few years now, being in classes with people like Tina Malone, for me personally, being on a set now, I've learned so much just from her mistakes. So she's told me what to do and what not to do. So now when I'm on a set, I know that now. Do you know what I mean? So it's having somebody supportive and to be able to help you.
I don't think going to drama school is a necessity anymore.
No.
But certainly attending classes too.
Yeah,
so if you have that
definitely
raw talent, go to classes and
better
hone your skill.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you are a tool. You have to learn how to use that tool effectively.
Exactly.
And that's what acting classes will do. And it will put you in contact with other people in the
Other
industry.
people,
For example, I've met you through Act Up North. I met you through doing Act Up North.
I know these ones do that.
And yeah, there are various other classes,
Yeah.
that you make the connections and you end up, because Liverpool is such a small creative community, we do end up working with each other time and time again.
Yeah.
So, acting classes are great for honing these skills and making those initial connections.
Is it a good resource as well as like letting each other know if there's auditions out there?
Yeah, exactly. And like I got a job once doing from Jodie. She went to one of the classes I went to, and it was one of those reconstruction murder.
Like Crime Watch.
Crime Watch things. Yeah, and it was so much fun. I got like proper ACs up, like looked like Madonna. It was great. That was just literally from going to class with somebody, and they went, "Oh, do you know what? You'd be good for that." That's what it's good for.
I find is the difference between Liverpool and London is in London there is so much competition and there is so much bitchiness, backstabbing. Whereas in Liverpool, because we know it is hard, and we are a creative community, we do support each other.
I work in a supermarket, and I got speaking to one of my customers who told me that she was an actress. Through her, I then got put on to Mark Wright, who's a local up-and-coming filmmaker. Who's that? Did a short film with him. He's then put me in touch with Chase. And this
That's
is
literally it. It's like
I know Danielle from Top Media,
Liverpool Media
class,
Academy, with Tomlinson,
with Ricky. So it's just incredible how supportive everyone in Liverpool is for each other's career. Because we've got to do it.
It sounds like all of you have gone through the same path. With overlapping. And do you think that? So do you think those training is as giving you the skills then to do auditions and to nail the audition?
Basically, you learn your craft. You go to the audition. You go to your classes. You get as much camera time making short films as possible, because you learn what angles you like. If you're moving too much, you get as much camera time as possible. Making mistakes doing short films. So when you finally put yourself out there as the end product, you're confident because you've had all that, not so much training, but stuff to mess around with, experience.
It's like what you were saying earlier, that once you finished university, finish your course, they put you out into the world, like, all right, then off you go.
See ya.
There's no preparation. And when I finished uni, I was like, right, okay, I've graduated uni. I'm an actor. I need to find myself some acting work. I did not have the first clue where to start. And for a few years, I really struggled, making mistakes, just muddling my way through it. Luckily, I did get cast in a really good role with First Take Productions on BAFTA North. That was a fantastic film to be involved in, and it's my first thing out of uni. But then, as I've gotten older and I've gotten more mature, and I did take some time out from acting to focus on being my partner's carer. And it's only in the last 18 months, 2 years that I've gone, you know what?
This is for you.
I am an actor, and I am not going to be happy unless I am working as an actor. So it's only in the very recent months that I have been making a massive push to get my career where I want it to be. And in that time, I have worked practically non-stop. I've done short films, theatre, I've done commercials, I've done so much, and I look at my CV of how much I've actually accomplished, and that's come with the maturity. And I went back to classes, I went back to learning. I got my confidence back because my confidence did take a massive knock, and I didn't know if I was any good, if this was the career for me. And within a few weeks of being back in class and just doing it and being with other people also just doing it, it's like, you know what? This is me.
If you think you've fully mastered the craft, you're never
going anywhere.
Never stop learning and learning from classes, so teachers in classes, other actors that you work with.
I think as an actor, that is our natural right to have self-doubt. There's never going to be, you could go to, let's say Leonardo DiCaprio, you wouldn't be like, he's going to have some self-doubt. Everybody does, otherwise you're not. What's the point in doing it? Do you know what I mean? If you think you're great, you're probably not.
Oh God,
So now you've gone through the acting schools, you've honed your craft, you've got the auditions now. Now, the next thorny issue is, do you think all actresses should always be paid for their roles, or do you think it's legitimate to do unpaid work to get experience or exposure?
It would be nice.
Issue.
I'd love to get paid.
It would be great.
Well,
It's not
the
going
thing-
away.
The thing is, right, you go to the classes, you get the skills, you get the experience, you get qualifications in your craft, and then when you go out into the world and you're expected to work for free, I'd say, hold on. Anybody else who goes and does professional qualifications and has as much
would
experience
never
as
not
we
be.
do, are they expected to go out into the world and work for free because it's experience, because you need to have a certain amount of experience in order to get considered for paid roles?
It's frustrating.
It's incredibly frustrating,
unfair.
but that on the other side, doing short films that I obviously haven't got paid for, I've learned I've learned how to deal with people who are difficult on set, or do you know what I mean, like silly little things like that you think, do you know what I mean? You learn things that you would never even think of learning.
Yeah, you're always
Yeah,
learning.
there is that. I mean, it is a constant learning process. But when you think about the time and the money that you invest in your career,
Yeah, I get that.
and then you're still expected, after you spend however many years training, you are then still expected to go out and get experience, basically doing an internship, unpaid internship, in the hopes that somebody will see you and recognise your talent and might pay you your expenses at very minimum for being a part of that. It's completely unheard of in any other industry.
Depends if they've got the funds. Like if you're doing a film,
Yeah,
a short film, if they've got
it's
no
funded,
funding
yeah.
and they're not getting paid,
Then
they can
obviously,
say, well,
yes,
so
but
it's good experience.
but-
If they were getting paid and they have funding, they didn't pay for no
But in
reason.
any other industry, you don't get somebody saying, we've got this great opportunity, it'd be fantastic, it'll look amazing on your CV. However, we haven't had any funding to fund this position, so would you like to do it for free?
Yeah, but as
Sounds
an
clever, that
actress,
sounds
as an
clever.
actor, I think that obviously if you haven't made it yet, and people aren't banging your doors and begging for you, on the way up, obviously if you want to get a great show reel, you want to, get stuff together, I find doing stuff for free, I'm free, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it,
Because it's only going to benefit you in the long run if you get something that's absolutely real and like amazing out of it. But I mean, it's frustrating and it's frustrating.
How long would you then be willing to do it? Because
For as long as it takes.
As long as it takes.
As long as it takes. Until Hollywood goes back on the door.
because if you get a reputation of, oh, it's all right. Danielle did that last one for us for free. She'll do it.
I'm
She'll
not-
do it again.
Yeah, but you don't have to
You
say
do
yes
it.
to a
Yeah,
lot.
Exactly. You
No,
don't
you
have to
don't.
say
Well, yeah,
yes. You don't
there
want
you
to
go.
have that
You can always say no.
You
reputation.
can always say no. There's always if you want to.
Yes.
If someone said to me, "Oh, do you mind doing this one again?" Well, I can't. Not really.
If it's going to show you the best possible
think-
way
Yeah, if
to
it's
do
a
it,
great director that you're working with, I'm
It
more
does
than
depend
happy
on the story and the
Yeah,
script. There has
obviously.
been things that I've done for free because I've absolutely loved the script.
Yeah,
And I've spoken to the director and I know the cast, the rest of the cast or the crew, and it's like, you know what, I really get on with these people. They're
Just
great
be a lot
to
of
work
fun.
with. This script, I really like it. I really like the character they want me to play. Yeah, go on, I'll do it.
The thing is, doing things for free is in the hope that yes, someone is going to come and knock on your door and pay you for some big opportunity. But unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you look at it, in this industry, there's always going to be actors and actresses who will do it for free.
Yes.
Yeah,
If you're
and
not
they will
offering
get the
your
experience.
services for
Yeah.
free, they're going to offer
That's
theirs,
really- and also
and
you
then
never
that is
always
where
gonna
they're
see
going to be above you and have that director knock on their door eventually, offering them
there is a lot of
payment.
online debate at the moment about the paid versus unpaid
Yeah,
roles.
but once
Yeah,
you've
so
got
how's
that,
that
you
on-
can send
how's
it
that
to however
debate
many
going?
people,
Yeah.
and you don't need to.
Yeah, there
It
is
might
that,
be
but
the
there-
Japanese,
so
so
there is a lot of debate at the moment. If you look at the various
Yeah.
forums, etc., for example on Facebook, there is a lot of debate going on about the paid versus unpaid roles.
Yeah.
How much are you how much unpaid work are you willing to take? I know there are some actors who absolutely refuse point blank to do anything
I know, that's
unpaid.
ridiculous.
Mm.
I do think that's ridiculous.
think that's
Because how are you ever
ridiculous.
going to get experience?
You know,
You
exactly.
Well, can I ask you all a question then? Because you all, I guess at some point have done unpaid work. Have you ever got any paid work as a result of doing unpaid work with
Yes.
someone?
Well,
You
see,
all
there
have.
you go. That's
So it does lead to something.
Yeah,
then.
because I sent it off as a video off YouTube, and I got work from it.
Yeah,
I've done
I mean,
like
because
six-
I
No,
was just going to say
I
to that.
haven't,
I was. You haven't?
No, I haven't. I find, right, when you're doing paid work, you don't get a say in what you do. They'll say to you, this is the brief, this is the character, you go in and you do it as they want. You get no say, you're just a machine. You go in, once again, you do it.
Because
They give you dress, makeup, everything, you do it, you know your lines, you do your job. When it's unpaid, or if it's profit share, like you're doing Fringe or theatre, or if it's like your mate's doing a short film, like, you know, anything like that, you get to work, you get to experiment.
You get a bit
I
of
find,
ownership.
I find you can then act, and you can experiment with characters, you can play about, and that's why you're in it, you know what I mean? You're in it to
I think it also depends on the relationship you have with the casting director or the director as to whether or not you feel that you are able to play about with the character a little bit. Like, if you have a really good relationship with your director, you can actually say to them, I'm not sure about this line, I don't think it works for this character, or do you not think that, you know, my character should be a bit more like this?
From my experience, if you're getting paid and you're saying stuff like that, you ain't going to get
Yeah. Tomorrow we're going to bring Anne Marie.
Oh well. Don't want to come in tomorrow.
When I've been in professional work and when I've been in unpaid work, in my experience, I've been able to express just the same in each one. And if they don't like it, whether you're getting paid or not, I treat every job exactly the same.
Exactly.
I don't like poor professionalism to match a paycheck, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just as professional in every job, and I'll always speak to the director whether he's paying me or if he isn't.
A good director will give you direction.
Yeah, but then there's some directors that you'll ask and they'll just be like,
You can only say yeah or no, can't they? But sometimes, even if they're professional, they'll go,
It does all come down to the relationship you have, the rapport you have with the director.
I mean, what I was going to say is I think the important thing here is choice.
Yeah.
You know, that you have a choice to take that role or not to take that role.
Absolutely.
And it has to be a role that's worth taking. And that's the decision-making process. I think what's great about this conversation is that there are a lot of times that you're going to get that phone call and the director's going to be really excited about the part they want you to play. And they're going to go into everything except for how much they're going to pay you. And all of a sudden your ears go up going like, I never heard anything about how much you're going to get paid.
How much they're going to pay you and not fulfill that. So that is where, as an actress and actor, you have to be careful that you're not exploited, because there are people who do know that people will do things for free and they're willing to exploit that fact. So I do think you should do things for free. It does get you out there, but then you do have to watch your own back as well.
I mean, because what I was going to say is that what it all comes down to is the show reel. It's like what Matt said about did you get work from it. It's that like the role has to be worth it for you, or you have to make that role worth it for my show reel. Because nobody wants to see a film that you've made, whether you got paid or not been paid for. They want to see that you are a character that they want to be having their film. So like in that aspect is that, okay, I'm given this role, this doesn't seem like a really good film, but I'm going to make sure that there's some production value on me. I came out here today. I'm going to make sure that I act my ass off in this part, and I'm going to take that little clip out of your crappy film, and then I'm going to put it on my show reel. I'm just saying. You know, long as you are sure about what you want out of it, you know, and that is, I mean, there are all those free, there are all those free jobs, but that's the worth it. That's that's just me.
So with that in mind, when you get roles, got offered roles, or you see a role and you go, that's something I'd like to go for. What is it about the role that you accept when you get the offer?
Usually something I haven't done before.
Or the character you can't really relate to, like, you know, you've got to be able to feel like whether you could portray this character and make it so real. So you fall in love with the character, don't you? And before you take any job.
Quite often though, you do get, when you're applying for roles through the various casting sites, the character breakdown you get isn't very expansive, minimal. So then you have to look at, okay, what is the production? What have they done before? Where are they planning on doing this production? You know, is it theatre? Is it fringe theatre, profit share, or is it, you know, film, student film? Is it short, feature, etc.? You have to look at all the different aspects of it, and then decide whether or not that's a role that you would like to go for. And all the other factors come into play when you have the absolute minimal character breakdown. I mean, there have been castings where they have gone into depth about the character's motivation and, you know, how they feel about having the pet rabbit run over and whatever, and how that performs a character 20 years later, and she's like, wow, that's really that's
Wow,
yeah.
You thought a lot about this. So.
But as long as I can get my teeth into something, as long as it's something really gritty, I love
something
it.
that speaks to you.
Yeah, something you can really grab hold of and go and run with.
And when you pick those roles, do you feel like you take ownership of it, or do you?
Yeah,
do you
you
feel-
have to, don't you?
Yeah, otherwise it's
It's
unbelievable.
part of you, because when you're acting, it's an facet of yourself that goes into creating that role.
Yeah.
So you do have to take ownership of it.
Because you're actually being
Someone
that
else.
other character.
Yeah,
You're not,
it's not.
you know, I know you put part of yourself into it and everything, or whatever technique you use to relate, but you're actually being that character. So you're 100. You've got to be. You can't be any less than 100%.
Yeah. You know, can I ask you a question? You know, when we did the pre-interviews and stuff like that, you know, a lot of you have done theater, is that right? And stuff. So I mean, I think that at this point it's a really good question about like the difference for you, like theater and film, because I think what you were just saying there, Rachel, is really tantamount to acting. Because when you're actually doing a play, you know, there's no cut. You know, there's no another angle. You're on stage either the whole time or you're walking or whatever. Blah blah blah. But so I mean, can you speak to that about theater versus
the adrenaline
film?
that you get from doing theatre, like when the audience at the end stands up and everyone's clapping, and the feeling that you get is totally different than like the films that I've worked on, or like when you're on set, it's like a totally different feeling. So theatre makes you feel alive, like literally. At the end of your performance, at the end of the show, that's when like the adrenaline kicks in and everyone's clapping, so it's a different feeling completely.
I get a funny lip on the stage when I go Seriously, and like everyone can see it. I'm like,
If you look at it, if you look at yourself in the mirror when you've got that, you can't stand there.
I know, I get that drop in my eye.
You get instant feedback with theatre because you're constantly feeding off the audience's energy, and every night that you're doing that performance, it's completely different because the energy from the audience is different. Your energy is different. The dynamics are. It's like, you know, if somebody misses their cue by 2 seconds, it changes the whole energy of the performance. So with theatre, it's changing.
Every night.
Every night it's different, moment to moment.
Yeah, like I did a play, Blackburn House, caught on camera. Did you see it?
I couldn't
I've heard of that.
And one night we were absolutely rammed, and the energy was literally like, whoa, like this, because there's one person that starts on stage, and it just started with a massive bang. The next night, because I think it was like a Thursday or something, it was quite a quiet night, and you walked on stage and you could feel it in the room. It just wasn't, and obviously you should always give 100%, no matter if there's one person in the room or there's 10,000, but it makes such a difference. But with TV, it's so, as much as, and I will hold my hands up, I do not care. I like getting feedback. I really like, oh, that was great, why don't you try this? Or in TV you don't get that. You're like, right, cut next, and you're like, was I good? Like, I don't know. Was I good? That you don't get that, but I like watching TV and film unravel. And you do, like, say you'll start at the end, and then you'll go to the and then watching the finished product is literally like amazing.
What I find hard about film is when you're doing take after take, and you have to keep the same energy up, and you're doing it, and you're just like. You seriously, it's like you've not got the take you want yet. And it's,
seriously?
It's always take 3, trust me.
It's absolutely exhausting, especially when, you know, you're doing a short film. It's 15 minutes long and it's taken you 6 days to shoot it.
Oh God.
And oh my goodness, it's just because it's take after take after take. It's not that it's soul destroying, it's just absolutely exhausting.
But I love that though. It's like the littlest things.
But yeah,
and they count attention to detail.
Yeah, and I find that I'm a bit OCD, so I really enjoy that.
No, that is good because the director's like, oh, actually, I didn't quite like that. Could you do that? Turn your face that way. And just move that light, and we'll just. And it's, you know, slice little things. Something will be moved like
going back
quarter
to
of a centimetre.
Classes, you need to know that. Like actually, I learned so much about camera work that I had no idea. Lighting and
you need to know
tone everything
how
down.
to.
Yeah, like my face is constantly.
Yeah, play to the crowd or to me right here.
Yeah. You need to know how to repeat exactly what you did in the previous take. So it's like, you know, picking up this glass. So I need to know the exact moment when I pick that glass up,
Continuity.
how long? Yeah, it's continuity, and that's the sort of thing you don't learn in theatre.
Right, so anyway, I'm Chief Johnson Lynch, and thank you for watching this first table round session here with the actresses. And next week we'll be having another table round session with directors. So, I mean, please look forward to that. This is also the beginning of a web series that will be on YouTube and hopefully in other outlets, but we know that it'll be there, definitely. And so we want to thank you for watching. So I'd like to thank Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. See you later. Bye-bye. I thought you were going to close it out.
All right. Well, yeah. Do you want to say
Daddy, turn the camera on.
No.